All right, ladies. So, as we have talked about, I am going to be doing these office hours every Monday. Right now, it's going to be on Mondays at 6 o'clock. I promise I'll get better at making sure I stick to that. So, unfortunately, yesterday it didn't work out. So, I moved it to tonight. So, I will be posting this. Obviously, if you're watching this, you know that it is going on to our chats. So, basically what we're going to do is start off by doing a short little training. All right. So today, and I'm going to have it more scheduled and organized as the future as we progress. I'll let you know ahead of time what we're going to be talking about so that you can decide whether, hey, that's something you really want to get on, listen to. But today, because we just started the ladies on the 30 days for $30, 30 days food flexibility through the holidays. I know one holiday is gone, but it's like the whole month of December, and we're just getting into it, right? So even though Thanksgiving is over, we want to just let that go. Remember, we decided that we don't need to worry about it. You really didn't need to track your foods. If you did, great. It's kind of it's a good habit to have, to kind of take a look at how much did you consume. Maybe you consumed less than you thought in calories, maybe some of you more. So it can give you an idea of maybe where you can tweak some things. But today I wanted to talk to you about protein, because the ladies that are just started yesterday, they're one of their first things that they're doing is increasing our protein, right? Because that's typically what we do. All of you that are in my one-to-one program, that is what we do. We start, with water. Of course, water is always like the easy, simple, big one. And then we want you to start really, when it comes to food, increasing protein, because protein is key. Protein is going to help your muscles repair all your ligaments, everything. You need it to fuel your body. So protein is one of the key macronutrients that your body needs. Okay. So you need protein, carbs, fats, and we need these in a specific amount based off of your actual activity level. What are you doing? What is your goal? And that's why we ask. I want to know what your goal is, because I want to make sure that we're giving you the right program, right? If you are super active, I might increase your protein, because typically your protein intake should be about 1 gram per pound of body fat. So if you weigh 150, if you weigh 150 pounds, your protein goal is 150 grams. I know it seems like a lot, right? But you are going to notice that your body functions better. You're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be fuller longer. It's going to help feed your muscles, build that lean muscle mass that you want, right? Because protein actually requires more energy to burn or to digest. To digest. When we eat protein, we burn more calories. So that is one reason to actually intake that protein, right? It helps with, like I said, it's going to help feed your muscles so that your body is actually building lean muscle. So protein is the building blocks to muscle gain. So we want to make sure that you're doing that. But initially, what we want you to do is make sure that you start off by tracking. So that's why this week is so key for the ladies doing the 30 days, is that you're just tracking food this week. Everybody actually did get the habit tracker that the ladies with the 30 days are doing. You did get the calendar, right? So you should have all received the calendar. Print that out. Let that be your guide for the next month, because even my ladies that are in my regular one-to-one program, we are like changing it up a little bit, right? We're giving you a little bit more food flexibility for the holidays so that you don't feel like you are on some sort of a, straight up program that you have to be stringent and be cautious. We know parties are going to come. The holidays are here. You're going to be baking cookies, eating lots of sweet treats and stuff. But we want you to be aware of that and try to decrease it, but not feel like you can't enjoy a holiday treat. I have a refrigerator I made for Thanksgiving. I made fudge, and I've been dabbling, a little piece, every so often. I don't think every day, but, I'll get one small, one little piece. because that's all it needs. I just need one piece for my chocolate fix. And whatever it is you have, maybe there's still some pumpkin pie in there. I think we got to get rid of everything after today from what I hear. But it's okay to indulge once in a while, to have, a drink once in a while, but not feel bound to, being super strict. Again, it is all based on your goals and where you're at and what you want to achieve. So if you're somebody, let's say you're just starting out in the 30-day program and you really haven't done anything, you haven't been tracking foods, you haven't been eating healthy, you don't exercise. Let's say you're starting from, ground zero. You're going to notice a big difference when you just start drinking that water. Start drinking the water. That's, we haven't been too focused on that, but on the sheet, it tells you, I thought I had printed one out. It tells you, the 10 healthy habits. You want to focus on those habits. You want to work on those as best as you can. As you start doing that, you're going to notice a big difference. When you're doing protein, okay? So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on protein. We need to start logging, or you need to make sure that you're logging. So for those of you doing the 30 days, this week is all about logging your food so I can get an idea of, are you eating enough calories, or you're not eating it, or you're eating too much, because you may not be eating enough. If you're under 1,000 calories, you're definitely not eating enough. And some of you, if you're over 2,000, you might be eating too much. Some of you aren't even eating that, and your calories should be more. Remember, one of the things we're going to talk about in the future, probably next week, is reverse dieting. That is something that a lot of my one-to-one clients have been on, and we are doing. But I want you to understand why we do that. I have my hot chocolate because it's freezing outside, right, ladies? But this week it is all about tracking. It's all about increasing that protein. Tomorrow, if you're doing the 30 days, the module is going to drop for the fruits and veggies. And then on Friday, you can see it in your modules. You just can't open it. Friday is all about alcohol, on how you can booze and still lose weight. So many of my one-to-one clients, we've gone through, through those programs already. So this is new for you to understand and learn how you can actually still indulge, like I said, without having to give up everything. So I want to make these short and sweet, not too long when we go through these. What you did get, and most of you, if you are in the 30-day program, you should have received a guide that's your, what was it? My favorite, high protein. There's one that, a sheet that has like a grocery list on it. You probably received, I have a sheet that just talks about my favorite proteins. I'll add that in there so you can kind of get an idea, because I know a lot of people are asking, well, what can I have? Some people maybe don't even know what proteins are. So I do have a sheet that I'm going to add into that. And it's my favorite proteins option. And if you go into my Facebook group and you click on the guides, you're also going to get a lot more information. And typically these are in there, but you're talking about, I use Fit Crunch bars, boiled eggs, protein powder. I use Arbonne, and I'm using Prestige, which is another protein, but I like Arbonne just because it's plant-based and that's good. It keeps my belly happy. You can use some Quest bars. When you're eating bars, limit that. Okay. Don't let those be your, something you have every single day. Let that be, I keep one in my purse just in case emergency, because bars can also, they're processed. So, but if they have at least, you want to get bars that have at least 10 to 20 grams of protein in them. And you can have that on occasion as a snack. If you're in a rush, if you're not able to get, your protein in, but watch for the sugar content, because you don't want anything that has more than 10 grams of sugar. Stay as low as you can, below 10 grams. I also use Advocare's Catalyst. I've used Advocare for 20 years. Catalyst is branched chain amino acids, your BCAAs. When you hear that, it's branched chain amino acids. That's the building blocks for protein and muscle, and it feeds your muscles. So that's through Catalyst. So 1 serving is equal to 1 pound lean sirloin steak, all the protein, none of the fat. And so it is a great way to kick off and start your day. So typically every morning I will have Catalyst, And then I will also have my breakfast, which is usually oatmeal with some protein powder in it. Okay. So now you're increasing more protein. So here's a way to get an abundance of protein. Start out first early. Okay. If you eat oatmeal in the morning, remember oatmeal isn't like, it's more of a carb than it is a protein. It has some protein in it, but add some protein powder to it. And that will help, increase the protein. And then there's something called schoolyard snacks. I find these on Amazon, and they're like having your Cocoa Puffs. It tastes just like Cocoa Puffs. There's peanut butter puffs. There's Cheetos. There's all these other snacks that look like schoolyard snacks, but they all are healthy and they have protein in them. So if you're looking for some sort of a, just snack to have, look for schoolyard snacks on Amazon. Strong Coffee Company, they have a protein coffee. So, so they have a protein coffee. You can get that. Hey, Lori, I'm just talking about protein right now. So, so Strong Coffee Company, you can get a protein coffee, or what I do is I make my regular coffee and I add in protein powder to that. So that is also going to be an option. You can do that. I take half a scoop of my regular protein powder. It's chocolate. And I use Prestige. It mixes well. Not all proteins are going to mix well with your coffee. So you got to make sure you find one that actually dissolves really well with it. I've found Arbonne doesn't do as well. At least it hasn't. I don't know. I might try it again. But for some reason I tried it and it seemed like it clumped. The other one that I use, but Strong Coffee Company actually is a protein coffee, but it's probably it costs a little bit more than making your own coffee and then adding in some protein to that. So you can use, instead of using creamers, use vanilla. You can use you can make your regular coffee and then just use vanilla as your creamer, or like I like to make it more like a mocha. I add chocolate and try other flavors. You can try other flavors and see how those come out for you. Beef sticks or jerky and nut butters, of course, are also and these are just some of my favorites. You can find this list on the guides in the Facebook group. And then some tips. Okay. So here's another way how you can hit your protein goal. And I will actually put this into your document section. So because it's a whole bunch. And, but these are some really good tips that sometimes people don't think about. So basically increase the amount of protein you eat at each meal. Okay. That's something we always talk about. You want to have at least 20 grams of protein per meal and per snack. Drink highly filtered milk. It's lower in carbs, lower in fat, and higher in protein. I use Fairlife. One reason I use Fairlife is also because it's good on my belly because it's lactose free. But there are, like, you can buy, I know when I used to shop at the commissary, they had just the smaller, individual bottles of it, and they had chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, and those are really good. So those are really good ones because they're lower, like I said, they're lower in sugar as well. Swap your regular yogurt for Greek yogurt. So I use the Fage or whatever it's called one, and that Oikos is also good, the 000. But I use Greek yogurt in place of sour cream. So if you like sour cream, to me, I think it tastes exactly, there's not much of a difference at all, if any. I use Greek yogurt instead of sour cream. Also, when you use Greek yogurt, sometimes what you can do is if you don't like the plain ones, because again, when you start getting the flavored ones, you're going to find a little bit more sugar. So look for lower sugar, or take your just the plain yogurt and then put frozen fruit. Like at night, I put them in little bowls when I want some, and I put frozen fruit in there. And then by the morning, the fruit it's melted, and now you have all, the juices from the fruit, and then you just mush it up, and you can add a little stevia sweetener if you feel you need more than what the fruit provides. Supplement, obviously, like I said, with whey protein. So you can add that. You can add that to your oatmeal. You can add that to your green smoothies. Just think about where, your coffee, well, this isn't coffee, it's cocoa, hot chocolate. I wouldn't be drinking coffee at this hour. Put egg whites in your oatmeal. Put egg whites in your oatmeal. I have had somebody who used to do that all the time. She puts egg whites in her oatmeal, or add an extra egg white with your omelet for, just add in one more for less fat than whole eggs. but typically most people will always think that, to eat just egg whites. Okay, when it comes to the the yolk, it is not that bad unless you've absolutely have been told that you should not eat the yolk. It's not, as people always say, just eat the egg whites, egg white omelet. It's okay to eat the yolk if you like the yolk. It really isn't as bad as they put it out there to be, unless you're even if you're, I don't even think, it's very low. It's really not that super high in cholesterol. You can get like the other ones. I think they're like the omega ones, which are really good for you, and you can have the whole egg. Where are we at? Like I said, eat your high protein snacks in between your meals. Again, you can get those schoolyard snacks, beef jerky. Like I said, there's a list of here, beef jerky, nut butters, all these other different things. Those can be your snacks. But again, don't rely on bars for that, because there's a lot of sugar in some of those, and some of them are not as healthy as they proclaim, or they say they are. But collagen is actually a protein. It is you can put that in coffee. A lot of people put that in their coffee and in their tea, but collagen, we actually have like 30% of collagen in our body. And a lot of people don't even realize that, but collagen, like that's better for me than, the whey protein, just because I'm lactose intolerant. So collagen protein is another option. And it is, and that just helps with so many different things. We all know what collagen does. It helps with our skin, our ligaments, it helps our joints, everything to repair when we have an injury. So it's really a good one to have. Just make sure you're getting a good quality. Don't buy anything from, be cautious when you buy any kind of supplements or protein powders from Walmart, or like I had a guy come to me with Dollar Tree stuff. I threw that in the trash. I mean, this is garbage. It really is. So you got to watch out. Walmart's not so bad. I'm not knocking all their stuff. You just have to be cautious about what you're getting from when you buy it from anywhere. You go to, like, we have 5 Star Nutrition. They'll let you try samples. They'll let you try samples of protein powders. I don't know if anything else, but and if you belong to a gym like Lifetime, they're always sitting out there with their, the trainers are out there with samples of stuff. And I did try their collagen. Lifetime has a really good collagen. They had it in coffee, and it tasted really good. And it's really not that expensive. There was like $50, I think, for a canister, and it was a little bit better quality. So watch what you're getting. There's a lot of fillers they put into products, especially protein. Years and years and years ago, before I even heard of Advocare, I was just taking whatever was the product of the month at, wherever at GNC or whatever. And it made me fluffy. It made me look bloated. Once I started taking a more, once I started learning more about proteins, I found there's a lot of fillers in them. They even use formaldehyde and some weird stuff, there's just a lot of fillers. So you want to make sure that you can look on the back, and there's usually like banned substance. It'll say it doesn't have any banned substances in it. So be cautious for the quality that you're getting. If it's cheap, it's probably cheap. That means, if they can sell it for cheap, there's a lot of fillers in it. You are going to have to pay a little more for a better quality protein. The nut butters, again, higher, get higher protein with certain nut butters. So just watch if you're eating, I use almond butter. That's my favorite. Cashew butters, I like that one too. I don't eat a whole lot of peanut butter. If you're going to eat peanut butter or any of those other ones, again, look at the sugar content in them, or go to like Whole Foods where you can make your own. I think they kind of get the fresh peanut butter. So look for, higher protein, lower sugar nut butters. It says here, American Dream nut butter. I've never heard of that one, but that one is on here. Snack on cheese or beef jerky. As I mentioned, in some of my favorite things, get harder cheeses, stay away from the soft cheeses. Velveeta is junk. I know it can taste good, but it is not really even cheese. So stay away from softer cheeses. Harder cheeses are better for you, less fat, and they're more protein in them. Quinoa instead of rice or pasta. But you can. There's no problem with eating rice and pasta as your carb. But if you want protein, quinoa is going to have higher protein. There are a lot of pastas now that are actually protein. Barilla, whatever that is. The yellow box is protein. That one I like it because I've tried different ones to see what the texture is when you make them, and that one actually is different. It is not different than any other one because my kids can tell the difference. And that one they'll eat. Splitting your protein goal evenly throughout the day. Remember, split your protein at every meal. Start out strong in the morning, 20 to 30 grams for breakfast, and then continue to figure out what your protein goal is, and then pay attention. Most of you, I think all of you are all on the Practice Better app. So look at that little pinwheel, and it shows you where you're at as you're, logging your food. You'll know where you're at. I'm also putting those goals for you. There's protein. I'll put goals for you, but that's just something for you to be aware of. Some of you, yes, you do have the goals to be trying to hit every day. If you're new, it's just so you can be aware of where we're trying to get. I don't want you to jump from, 60 grams of protein to 150 grams, because that is going to mess up your digestive tract. So you want to slowly get your body used to increasing, whether it's fiber, carbs, fat, or protein. Okay. Those are usually your targets that I set for you. Just so you kind of are aware of where you're at. You can kind of pay attention what you're good on. If you're good on fiber, then great. You don't have to worry about it. You know that you hit that. Eat your protein first before your carbs. Definitely eat your protein first, because that is where you're going to get most of that, what's going to keep you full. If you've ever eaten a high carb meal, you're hungry in like a couple hours, right? So what you want to do is eat your protein first, and then your carbs, and then, you can fill it all with veggies. And so you want to do that first, because then, you'll eat more. That way you'll hit your goal a lot faster. Eat a high protein breakfast. Remember, try to not eat, your box cereals. You can have oatmeal. There are some cereals that are not so bad, but just again, pay attention to they are processed. Pretty much anything in a box is processed. So you just got to watch and look for the ingredients on there. Look for lower sugar, more natural ingredients, not a whole bunch of ingredients. Otherwise, it's not really real food. Have eggs for breakfast. Add there's the other one that I like to make, and I've made it on my my videos in the morning. It's just eggs. I'll just take like 2 eggs, add a little bit of oatmeal, like a 1/4 cup of oatmeal to it, and some chia seed. And then I love that. And I make it like a pancake. And you can take a banana. You can use a banana. It's a paleo. They consider them a paleo pancake. But if you just use like a banana to sweeten it, 2 eggs, and then about a 1/4 cup of oatmeal, and a little bit of chia seed. And then that's like a super high protein pancake. Also Kodiak. Kodiak is a really good protein powder, or not protein, pancake waffle mix. They also have oatmeal, and they have muffins. And so that's another way you can also add snack on cottage cheese. You see Erica eating cottage cheese. If you ever watch her on any videos, sometimes she's eating cottage cheese, but she eats it more. She's more of the savory. I'm the sweet. I like cottage cheese with fruit. She likes cottage cheese with, like, I don't know, pepper or something. I forgot what she puts in. She eats it with crackers. So that's another option, is cottage cheese. Add cheese, meats, and veggies to your omelet. Eat more fish. Your salmon, things that are higher in with healthier fats. So eat more fish, and swap your regular bacon actually for Canadian bacon. So that was an interesting one that I learned. I did not realize that, but bacon, there's nothing wrong with bacon. Just if you want higher protein. So one big thing that I would recommend, and we're just about done here, is when you pay attention when you're logging your food. The goal of logging food is not to have to log food forever. The goal of logging food is to actually be aware of what you're eating, because we are creatures of habit. So you will start noticing, if you were using MyFitnessPal before, or if you're using the Cronometer and the Practice Better app, you're going to notice that, you're eating a lot of the same foods most of the time. So it's kind of nice how they log it, and you just kind of are able to pop it in there. But pay attention to what's higher in protein and eat more of those foods. So take a look at what can give you the calories and the amount of macros that your body needs, and eat more of those. Decrease your eating out, try not to eat out so much at, fast food restaurants, and just, limit it, because you're actually getting a lot more calories than even what it says. Because there was some study that was done that says, it's actually quite a bit higher than what they tell you that it is. So you are actually getting higher calories than what they even claim it to be. just because of what they're cooking it in and everything that they're doing. So just be aware, the goal is to be able to prep more of your own foods and, still enjoy foods that you like eating out. But remember, 80-20, 80% of the time, eat healthy, 20% of the time, enjoy yourself. During the holidays now, if you plan and prepare yourself for your whatever upcoming feast is going to be, you're going to be perfectly fine on that day. You don't even have to worry about logging your foods if you choose not to. I know some people did for Thanksgiving, and that's awesome. But like I said, you might be surprised. You might be not eating as much as you thought you were, or you might be eating way above it. But it's just to be aware. So that is it for the training and on protein. So I will put these I'll add them to your documents, but I'm also going to double check and see, because I think they might be in the Facebook guide section. There are some that I put in there, not everything. I don't put everything because you guys get some things that nobody else gets. So anyways, thank you for joining. And Lori, just hold on. I'm going to take it off recording and then we can chit chat. So if you have any questions though, ladies, let me know and I'd be happy to chat with you offline.